Many amateur traders dream of someday telling their boss to fuck off and instead follow their secret dream of becoming a professional trader. But is this a feasible option for everybody? Or is such ambition best kept a fantasy? Becoming a full-time professional trader where you trade with your own money from home is surely a thought that almost every regular trader has toyed around with. And with pandemic-related layoffs and furloughs, perhaps you are giving it some serious contemplation yourself right now. In this episode, we will raise the straight-on questions and angles that you personally need to consider before appreciating whether a trading career is realistic and suitable or not. And let me be very clear, this episode is not about being a hired trader at some firm. It's about trading from home and with your own money, nothing else. Now, the question whether you should go pro or not is not a static one. It rather comes down to your personal life situation, where you want to go, and what you are prepared to sacrifice to get there. Before going into the actual discussion of whether you should go pro or not, there is one mandatory box that must always be ticked first. It's a rather obvious one and certainly non-negotiable. You need to be a winning trader with some sort of a proven track record. For trading is easy, but winning at trading, that is difficult. And unless you are certain that your wings will bear you, you will crash to a certain death. Now, presuming that you are a profitable trader and that you are not deluding yourself, the points to contemplate before going pro can be neatly distilled into the following. 1. Responsibilities. 2. Your life situation. And 3. Your personality preferences and values. Let's go through them step by step. 1. Responsibilities. By responsibilities, I mean both external ones, such as having a partner, a home, mortgages, a job or career, children, or that second family that you keep in the basement that no one knows about. For it might be a hard sell to convince your other half that the future bills from now on will depend on the good judgment of your trading abilities.
That's it! You people have stood in my way long enough! I'm going to clown college!
And it might be hurtful to the people who are dependent or codependent on your life choices, as you choose to jeopardize their destinies too. But by responsibilities, I also mean the ones you have towards yourself. Is trading a sound method to move your life in your desired direction? Or is it a wishful thinking that might leave you on your own in a rented basement when you're 40 if things don't pan out the way you wanted them to? For every decision in life comes with a consequence, whether that consequence is good, bad, or neutral. What are your current responsibilities to yourself and to others? And are those responsibilities in conflict with the aim of going pro? These questions may all sound like moral killjoys, and perhaps they are, but the beauty of responsibilities is that they also come in different shapes and on a gradient scale. For there is a multitude of factors that affect your personal level of responsibilities. One such factor is age. Naturally, age and responsibilities go hand in hand, and the older you get, the more responsibilities will pile up on your shoulders, at least up to a certain point, after which they decline. Now, the younger you are and the fewer responsibilities you have, the less risk you face in any long-shot endeavor. Hence, from a gaming theory point of view, taking risks should ideally be done as a youth or young adult, when you don't really have anything to lose but time, and where any risky long-shot can pay off handsomely. When I was 19, I decided to give poker the shot I'd spent 6 years and some 6,000 hours preparing for. Worst come to worst, I'd lose the $10,000 I'd won while grinding poker online after school. Just like most of my peers travel the world immediately after graduation, I too could write my shot at becoming a poker professional off as a gap year and safely resort back to university should it crash and burn. For when you're 19, life is much different to when you're 35. At 19, your commitments to yourself and others are typically modest, nor are you rarely burdened by any major societal responsibilities. This is the golden time for risk-taking and dream-chasing for the very simple reason that the cost of failure is at its cheapest. Never again will you have the same objective risk-to-reward ratio to aim big in your life. If I had started that very same poker journey from scratch today, however, it would have been a totally different story. From an age point of view, 18 to 22 might be the ideal time to give any professional trading aspirations a serious shot. This of course presumes you have already put in the countless yet necessary hours of trading theory to stand a chance at all, and that you have some sort of a trading capital. Ideally, you would still live at home and have fixed expenses near or at zero. For practically speaking, if you screw up, you haven't really lost anything. No one will question the gap in your CV and you're still young enough to get yourself onto a steady long-term path. And unless you borrow money from the mafia again or some hell-bent SMS loan service, whatever financial damage you may subject yourself to is likely to be little more than a humble life lesson. Actively quitting your day job at 35, on the other hand, is a completely different story. 2. Your life situation. If you want to give professional trading a shot, you need to be properly bankrolled. By this I don't mean a fixed amount, but rather a solid starting capital in relation to your fixed expenses. For €500,000 may barely get you by if you have a spouse, mortgage and kids in Geneva, but it sure will be more than enough if you are a single 25-year-old in a medium-sized town in Germany. But here's the thing, if you have a university or college degree, or if you're already on a promising career journey, going pro can quickly turn into a paradox. Now, trading is difficult. It is much more than just reading charts. And unless you have properly learned how to use your brain as a tool, with or without education, you will likely have a hard time at making either significant progress or profits. And the more capable you are, the more opportunities you are likely to have in other fields. Hence, taking a shot at trading will probably be a bad professional choice given how few actually make it big statistically. Kind of like trying to become a professional athlete. You'd likely get a lot more out of a proper career, and you'd probably have a lot more freedom doing something else on your own within your education and knowledge niche, such as setting up an entrepreneurial business or consultancy with uncapped scaling and profit potentials. But there are of course exceptions that can change the picture altogether. Perhaps you're sick of your career where each day feels like death by 1,000 cuts. Perhaps you regret your chosen university degree as your subject and you have grown apart. Or perhaps your spouse left you because they found that other family in the basement. And perhaps trading is the solution that will set you on course on the life path you really wish to be on. For sometimes dying emotionally and in spirit may ultimately come at a greater price than those of some responsibilities. Yes, some. Going for the trading gap year might be a good solution in such cases. This brings us to changing circumstances. For sometimes things happen fast and without warning. Perhaps you were made redundant or furloughed due to coronavirus. You have enough saved capital and you have already proven that you can win long-term at trading. Why then waste your days and live up your savings? Perhaps going pro would neither be the ideal nor optimal choice for you under normal circumstances, but when life takes a steep turn without asking you first, it might be the ideal opportunity to take a controlled shot at your ambition. And once things go back to normal, you may safely resort back to your old job if you wish to, and without any unpleasant and suspicious questions. And 3. Your personality, preferences, and values. The final thing to ask yourself is whether trading is in line with who you are and what you believe in. After having played poker professionally for many years, I began to feel a void from playing, an emptiness that refused to go away. I felt as if I was wasting my life playing cards, that I had no personal progress to show for it. And knowing that my profits came from other people's losses certainly made the load on my shoulders no easier to bear. Now, don't get me wrong, trading certainly doesn't make the world a better place, but at least swing trading leaves you the time to do other things. And as a swing trader, your competitors are not private people, but rather banks and financial institutions. And beating them will certainly not keep you awake at night. Would the extra time, or rather flexible time, be an incentive for you to go pro? Or do you lack the discipline to get things done unless you have external pressure from a workplace or a boss? This brings us to the final question. Can you handle the heat of going pro? You might be a talented trader who can show for consistent profits, but performing under pressure is a completely different story as opposed to trading as a lucrative hobby. As long as your financial net worth doesn't give you enough leeway to keep consequences at least a few years at bay, any bad week or month will breathe down your neck like a 500-pound beast. Trading for a living means you must make money, or else it's game over. And I can assure you that those intimidating red numbers that flash at you on the screen when you mess up a big trade are no treat when you have monthly expenses to cover and others who depend on you financially. People have certainly burned out and acquired gray hair from less. Now hear me on this one. Professional trading is nothing for the risk-averse or faint-hearted. When I was 22, I went to the bank to get a loan for an apartment. I was at the height of my online poker career and showed the bank clerk excerpts of my monthly average winnings. I hadn't found a specific place yet. I just wanted a green light and a price range to start looking within. And the green light I got. The bank approved an uncapped loan. Get yourself whatever you find suitable, they said. So I got myself a 5-room turn-of-the-century apartment in the heart of my previous home city. Life was fucking awesome, and few things make you feel as adult as buying yourself a home. Then reality kicked in. 2 weeks after I had signed the contract, I lost 30% of my net worth. I had known in advance that the pressure would be on, but when push came to shove, it manifested itself much more intensely than I had anticipated. Suddenly there was a lot at stake. And things didn't turn around for me until I genuinely accepted and made peace with this pressure. It was a responsibility that weighed a lot, but as with any practice, after a while it didn't feel so heavy anymore. Would you be able to perform under pressure, where making steady profits is a must? To sum it all up, if going pro doesn't come at the expense of your responsibilities to yourself or others, if it is something that will move your life forward in a desired direction, if it is in line with who you are, your personal values, and what you want to do, and if you can stand the pressure it comes with, then a professional trading career might very well be for you. However, I would recommend you to rewatch this episode a few times to really be certain, for going pro is a big leap into the unknown, and this unknown is full of rewards, but it is also full of merciless sucker punches that can humble just about anybody. Let me know in the comments section below if you are thinking of going pro at some point, and also what might be holding you back. That was all for now. Thank you and goodbye.